Hello, and welcome to Totally That Stupid, the podcast, episode number 7. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Maybe you saw our driving video previously, but this is kind of our just one-on-one talking through a screen, and we'll pull some audio out of that. I'm Jonathan Bush, one of your hosts.
I'm Reed Hitchcock, and just delighted you have the pleasure to look at us in addition to listening to us
Right, in a static environment,
in a static
not
environment.
not in a car.
I like being in the car.
I like being in the car too. Um,
If we weren't, whatever it is, 1,200 miles apart, we might be in cars more often. But,
Together, right,
well, yes.
right. I mean, we're in cars all the time, right?
Speaking of, so what's going on in your garage?
Uh, Not much. I did move the cars around, so the Z is at the door end again, so I can drive that. The
Has
Bower.
it been outside the door besides just in the driveway right outside the door?
Well, no, it's been merely in the driveway idling before it got put back in the garage. We're having a late like summer here. It's October 5th and it's 85 degrees with a 50-mile-an-hour wind. It's not convertible weather, I'm
In
sorry.
Minnesota.
In Minnesota. Um, I we used to be, hell for leather, top down, regardless people. And now I'm a little bit of a faint flower with this. If the weather isn't really, really nice, nah, taking the car with air conditioning. Yeah,
Well, it has air conditioning, but then what's the point, right?
right, right. I have a 5 Series with better air conditioning.
Well, and you're not top up at a Z3 with like this. 'Cause I don't
Right,
know about you, but I feel very claustrophobic in little cars with tops up.
right. Have you put the top up on the Miata since you got it back?
Not and driven it. I put it up when I brought it in for detailing because
Fair.
I wanted them to detail the inside of the top where the
Yeah.
little white spots were.
Oof.
I did identify another place in the car that I have missed, and I actually thought of you when you did the trunk in the Z3 and you
Mm,
took everything out to
yeah.
clean it. You know what I didn't do in the Miata?
Mm.
I didn't take everything out and clean it.
Oh.
And so I was yesterday, as I was looking for a screwdriver for other purposes, as I was driving around in the Miata, I dug around in the trunk and I opened the little panel that covers where the jack is.
Hmm.
And it's a really interesting shade of whitish green in there.
New in novel life forms.
Uh, Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was watching this thing yesterday. So on my free Roku TV that probably everybody has now. Right now, there's an Alfred Hitchcock Presents channel,
Oh, funny.
and being a Hitchcock, of course, I have to watch it. No relation, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you peasants. Anyway, so I'm watching the Alfred Hitchcock Presents yesterday when I was procrastinating doing other things. And there was this episode where this kid is growing mushrooms in the basement of the house. And it turns out the mushrooms are space creatures. And what happens is you eat the mushroom and then the space creature like infiltrates your body and every cell and takes you over. So when I opened that little panel yesterday, this was after I watched the mushroom show. I sort of did go through that. I wonder what's actually living in there.
I mean,
And
I'm
will
not sure
vinegar
the
kill it?
transformation has begun. However,
Again, as long as vinegar will kill it, I don't care.
oh my God. Yeah. I literally had everything except the wiring harness out of the trunk of the Z3.
Yeah, yeah.
And it cleaned up, but oof.
I did not tell the people that did the whole interior of that car to open the little flappy panel that covers the jack.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, other than that, like I mean, and I'll be reporting on this soon, in a different video. But the car, after 7, 8 years of dormancy and 20 years of just sort of basic maintenance in New England, it's really happy. And so I'm really psyched with that car right now, and sort of reminded what makes a Miata great. And I will communicate at another point. Miata is not always the answer. Because the whole reason we got rid of the Miata was because for certain circumstances, Miata wasn't the answer. Like 10 people coming to visit that we have to drive around Washington, D.C. Miata was not the answer.
Right, right.
But just as a sports car to bomb around back roads and go get your groceries and stuff like that, oh my God, it's a good little car.
Well, and it is, and at the risk of a spoiler alert, all it took was a giant bucket of money and an entire engine.
I wasn't going to talk about the giant bucket of money, but thanks for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know,
And a suspension, and anyway.
and multiple everything underneath.
But I did get the Range Rover back. Speaking of giant buckets of money,
Ah, a
and
bucket of money or bucket of coolant?
well, a little bit of both.
Again, like
Actually,
I can't bust on you too hard. I might own that car someday.
right. Don't forget, this is your future Range Rover. I mean, honestly, like it could have been worse. Because the bill was just around $800 to replace the coolant pipe hoses that let go, do a state inspection, and what was the other thing?
Exhaust
Um,
leak.
I have forgotten the other thing.
The exhaust leak.
Oh, yes, the exhaust leak. And knock on wood, this is wood. Um, the P1170 check engine light has not come back yet. So, yay team? Question mark? Dot dot dot.
Oh, that was the O2 sensor?
Yes.
Did he do an O2 sensor or?
Well, he had previously replaced the O2 sensor, but what he decided, and he's probably right because I don't know, I've got nothing else to go on, is is that basically the leak was close to the engine, right? It was basically at the engine, and so it was sucking in air and screwing up the O2 sensor reading.
Okay.
Roll with me on this.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it,
Um,
it, it, it would screw up the air mix, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't think.
but I would think it would push air out and not suck air in. But for now, let's go with what you said.
Well, maybe it's pushing too much air out and screwing up the reading. I don't know. Roll,
Okay,
roll,
let's
roll
go
with
with
it.
that. Yeah, let's go with that.
So you moved the cars around and you didn't drive them. So that's awesome.
Right. But tomorrow, literally, which will be Monday, it's supposed to be fall here in
Oh,
Minnesota.
okay.
So it will be perfect convertible weather. So it will be Z3 and Bauer top weather.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Because honestly, last week and the week before, absolutely perfect weather and drove the Bauer everywhere.
Mm.
Um, yeah, no, it was great.
And
Um,
and are you thinking about doing anything this winter? Like, do you have a project list for the Bauer this winter, or is it
oh
pretty?
God, yeah. I mean, um,
Well, I
yeah,
mean, if you're driving it, you notice things, right?
yeah, I notice how much work it needs. Yeah, no, I mean, I've had it 10 years now. It had a fresh timing belt when I got it. I did one 5 years ago, and oddly, it's time to do another timing belt service on it.
Mm.
You know, maybe 3,000 miles in the last 5 years, maybe. But, it's time. Um, so I'll do a timing belt, coolant flush, needs a radiator, probably throw a thermostat at it. Um,
As an ex-BMW tech, how long does a timing belt take you on that car?
I'm old school. I'm still 4 years, 50,000 miles, but the new belts, you can go 5 years. I mean, that car will never see 50,000 miles in the time it's with me.
That's fabulous. That's not the question I asked. The question I asked is how long does it take you to do the change?
Oh, we'll edit that part out.
Why?
Yeah. Um, when I was doing it regularly with water pump tensioner, thermostat, we didn't do full coolant flush because you're draining the block anyway before you glue the new pump in. I was down around 2 hours.
Oh,
I could do it in 2 hours.
wow. Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah. Last time I did it 5 years ago, um, it took me. probably 3.5 hours, but I was doing it on the ground. I didn't have air, and I didn't get into the cooling system.
Hmm.
So I just did the belt and tensioner. Um, and that was about 3.5 hours, but I also wasn't like trying to make time on it. I went out on a Friday night and did a timing belt.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, that's still not bad. I mean, the one and only time I did a timing belt, I think it took me 2.5 months. So
Right, right. But to be fair, it was a Volkswagen,
it
and
was
and
with a five-cylinder Audi engine.
right, right. So I don't want to say the cards were stacked against you to begin with, but they kind of were.
Yeah, about the time you had to take the whole front end off of the car. And of course, in that car, at least the radiator wasn't right in front of the engine, it was to the side.
Right, right. Uh,
Ah, the Quantum.
the
Those were the
quantum.
days.
That's a story for a
Ugh.
whole other something.
I wonder if I could find somebody that has a Quantum that would let me drive it for a video.
Probably.
I mean, well, you'd have to find somebody with a Quantum. I think that's the challenge. I
There's a
saw
guy up
one
in
for sale.
Connecticut who
Oh, go ahead.
oh, say there's a guy up in Connecticut. I follow him on Instagram, maybe. He's got a bunch of 80s and early 90s Audis.
Hmm.
And he may have a quantum synchro, which wouldn't be exactly the same thing. But I mean, if you're really, really, really itching to drive a quantum again,
It
you can
was,
ponder
yeah,
that.
I'll have to think about that. It wasn't a
Yeah,
bad car to drive. It was just a bad car to own
right. And work on
and work on.
and occasionally look at.
And own. I liked the way those looked.
No, I do too.
As
But
station wagons went, especially in the mid '80s, that was, oh, that reminds me, I got to show you something in a minute. But yeah, but I thought that was a good looking station wagon. I mean, the whole reason I bought it, back in the days when all the men in my family drove station wagons, um, was because it was a good looking wagon. That was a wagon I wanted my dad to buy when he was looking for a station wagon when we moved back from overseas. And at the time he had to have an American car, and that was a whole different thing. Um,
I
but
remember driving around in your Quantum, and no, and it was a nice car to be in and driving, and I do like the way they look also, even with the stupid US headlights and all that. I mean, I think it's a good looking car.
the later one was better. The later front end was a better front.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll say, every now and then, because the only ones that are left are the late synchro wagons. Those are the only ones people saved, and I think, I like that. I
Mm.
mean, you
Yeah,
know,
no. What I remember about the front end, this is very, very sort of minute detail, but they had reflectors. They sort of had a Volvo looking headlight set up. So it had the two square headlights and then like a strip underneath, which was your turn signal and all that. But they had reflectors on the front corners.
mhm.
And that was one of those reflectors that you actually had blinker fluid in, because water would get into the reflector and never get out. And I ended up drilling holes in both of them just to let the water run
Yeah.
because that was just a thing on that car. But anyway, yeah, no, goofy car. But the interior actually, it should have been a five-speed number one. The
Mhm.
automatic didn't do that car any favors. Had a killer air conditioner.
Yeah.
The seats, like I don't know what interior package it had because I've seen a lot of pictures of Quantums. Most of them have sort of that '80s Volkswagen Audi velour, which I like. But
Yeah.
I had like the black pleather interior that was actually really trimmed nicely.
I
Like
don't remember. I thought that was real leather, not fake leather.
no, it was fake leather, but it was a nice interior until. And yeah, I've always been a big guy, but I wasn't so big that the little manual height adjuster on the seat should have broken, but it did. So then I found a big block of wood, which I think is actually still around here somewhere. Oh no, it's not because I sold it with the car. Um, there's a similar block of wood around here somewhere, but it's like a railroad tie that I shoved under the seat so it wouldn't go up and down. It would go down to the level I wanted it when I got in, and then it would pop up when I got out because the little gear that would hold it just stripped or something. But when we sold the car or traded it in for the Prelude, yeah, I left that in.
That's a very 80s German car problem, right? That part of the seat broke because at that point, the Germans still didn't completely get the US market. And the fact that US people are bigger than German people of the time, right? Not all German people, I mean, to grossly stereotype, but I think in the mind of a Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche engineer, like they're not designing that car for the typical 80s American,
No, no.
right? Right. There's a whole bunch of design and engineering decisions that fall under that purview.
No.
Cup holders through like 2004, right?
Sure.
You know,
Sure. And even in those days, we were finding unique ways to hold drinks in cars, like usually wedged in between the seats and the emergency brake
yeah,
button,
yeah.
stuff like
That's how a strawberry shake wound up all over the interior of my Prelude shortly after I got it. Oh, this works really
you
well.
did
Oh,
it wrong.
till the lid pops off.
Oh, oh. Yeah, one of the things I like about the Range Rover, the 322, is that massive door pocket is just the right size for McDonald's, large drinks. So I have cup holder, and then this door pocket that you could literally put like four large McDonald's drinks in. But if you only have two or three, or even one, the way that it's shaped holds it just right. But you do have to make sure the lid's on.
Hmm,
To your point, lid pop off, bad day,
bad day.
bad day. But so you mentioned 80s stuff. We got talking about 80s cars, and I
Yeah,
talked about my dad and all this.
yeah.
So back in the 80s, when we were young and impressionable children, uh, obviously, we've known each other forever. Just for the benefit of the folks that have never watched us or listened to us or don't know us. The two people that don't know us that watch this is for you. Um, and we both sort of reconvened as families in late 84 back in Connecticut. We had been overseas. Jonathan's family had been in the Midwest. We all sort of showed back up in the Northeast in 1984. And both of our dads ended up, were in jobs, as typical of the time, executive jobs, where company cars were a thing. And we would go through the whole thing of advising our dads about what cars to buy and all that. Here's what you got to get. And of course, as I would say, my dad's company had rules. I'm sure your dad's company had some rules. I mean, for my dad, it had to be $18,000 or less, and it had to be American. And I think that they had an expectation that it had to be, something that he could drive colleagues around in.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what the dollar amount was for my dad. I could sort of extrapolate it from what cars he was looking at. Um, he didn't have the American expectation. I mean, he was running the U.S. arm of a British company, so I don't think they really cared. But I'm guessing the number was around 22, 23 grand based on the fact our Audi 5000, which was like a mid-level one, was a non-turbo, but it had, the memory seats, the computer, the sunroof, did not have leather, had the automatic. Um, that was like 22 and change out the door.
Okay,
I remember like he went and looked at BMWs first, but at that point it was like a 318. I don't even think he could get into a 325. Well, actually, 325 in those days might have only been a two-door. I don't remember.
here's
Yeah,
the, here's
25,
here's the
325E would have, I think, only been a two-door. 318 could have been a four-door, and he couldn't get into a 528E for that money. Those were, I don't know, like 30 grand in 1984.
well, and here's the segue. So as I was storing and rooting around through Miata parts up in the attic over the garage,
Yeah.
I found gold.
Oh yeah? What you got?
The Consumer Guide 1985 Cars book. And so I was
A
thinking,
Lancer?
yes, it's probably a GTS. It might
Hell,
be.
yeah, it's a GTS.
I don't know if they had a GTS in 85. That might have been later.
I don't know.
We'll find out because the book knows all. I
Oh
mean,
no.
let me correct that. The book knows some. There are cars that are just sort of casually left out of the book, but it
Yeah.
covers most of what was available in the US market in 1985. So
Okay.
I thought it'd be fun if we set ourselves a limit and sort of some rules like our dads had. If it's 1985, we're both executives, what are we, in our early mid 50s, maybe slightly younger. Um,
Yeah.
you know, and we have to choose a car. I have the Bible that tells us what car we can choose. And so my challenge to you, my friend, and to myself is it's 1985. How much money?
Well, you had 18. I'm going to assume I had like 22, 23. We could split it and do 20.
Okay.
And I think actually 20,000 in 1985 worth today. Oh, $20,000 in 1985 is the equivalent in purchasing power of about 60,000 and change today. Well, given that the average new price of a car is like 58, 59 grand now, that's that's probably spot on.
So what I can tell you is that your automatic Audi 5000S in 1984, because they didn't have 1985 prices yet for the 5000,
Hmm.
without anything, including $1,000 for a sunroof and a $360 stereo, was just about $18,000. So when you add the inflation for 85, the did you have a tilt steering wheel? You didn't have a tilt steering wheel. They list it, but then they say it's not available. Interesting.
No,
Um,
no tilt wheel. We did have the trip computer. We had memory seats, memory power seats. We did have the whoopty stereo. Well, actually, we didn't have the whoopty stereo. We had the crappy four speaker.
well, I tell you, the book is limited in terms of how deep it went on the Audi 5000. So I assume about 22 is about right. You're probably
22 is
close.
probably right.
Yeah,
Okay,
21, 22 out the door.
that's probably right.
But so I digress. So you got
20,
twenty
20
thousand.
is probably the right number. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you got $20,000. You know, really, are you gonna be hung up on you have to drive people around in it? I mean, it should have at least two seats in it. Maybe a back seat to shove something. You know, children or small colleagues or something. But I don't know. I don't think that's a must.
I don't
Although,
think it's, I mean, I think at the end of the, I think for this conversation, again, 20 grand then is 60 grand now, which is the average price of a new car, give or
right.
take. So it doesn't have to be an executive level car,
That's true.
right? We're just two guys who have decent paying, maybe upper middle management jobs, and we can go out and buy the average car in 1985.
So what are you buying?
Oof. I got to go back and remember what was even still available in 85 because the 80s were when a lot of the more esoteric manufacturers were falling out of the US market.
So there was a LeBaron GTS, and it had like the little vent thing on the hood.
Hmm.
I forgot
But that
about
was,
those.
but I think the picture on your cover is the Dodge badge. It's not
Yes,
the
it is. It is. This is the Chrysler.
Oh, but that's not the hatchbacky one. That's a different LeBaron. No, that's
That's
yeah, that's the Dodge 600 ES version.
no, no, it's not.
No, no, but it's that body. Oh, is that a Grand Am on the back cover?
It is.
Nice. I like a Grand Am.
So this is a LeBaron G. The GTS was the Lancer car. So
Yeah.
that's the same car, and this is the turbo. I didn't
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Oh
know that was a thing. And now I'm curious because there are specs in here. So, oh my goodness.
yeah.
So actually it's not terrible. The turbo four cylinder 2.24 in the LeBaron GTS was 146 horsepower,
Yeah.
which in 1985 was not terrible.
Wasn't terrible because the cars weren't grossly overweight like they are now.
Yeah, I mean the car. Did they put the weight in here? I bet they do.
I'll
Curb
bet
weight,
that's a
20
3,000.
2,600 pounds.
Oh God, even lighter than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
God,
would have
that's
been a
light.
pretty swift car.
Yeah.
And you could get a 5 speed.
I was gonna say with a stick, it was probably quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
then,
So
the
okay, so
automatic
so
is,
what are we buying for our 20 grand? We're buying
well, because this car is $9,000.
Well,
plus
that's
plus
the other
equipment.
yeah, plus equipment, right? I feel like we should spend the full 20 grand,
Oh no, I think you're right.
right? Like I'm not going to buy, perhaps obviously, a LeBaron and a something else. Like we only have one car.
I don't know, with a 3-page options list, you might be able to spend 20 grand out of LeBaron.
Yeah, but
I mean,
should we?
everything in these days was optional. I mean, just going down the list. I mean, power door locks, the radio, sound insulation, premium sound insulation was $45. Um, Conventional spare tire, love it. You know, we could learn from these things.
Yeah.
Intermittent wipers, rear window wiper washer.
Oh, I like that,
I do too.
especially on a hatchback.
um, Rear window defogger. I mean, everything was an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
those are the days, especially with the American cars or the American brands. Like you just go in and check off what you want,
yeah.
and then some amount of time later, your car shows up.
Well, and so in we ordered the first 6,000 wagon, which was ultimately the car my father bought, um, in '84, and it was delivered. It was an '85 model. It was delivered in January '85. Don't ask me why I remember that,
Hmm.
but I do. And that was a total options list car. So it was a base 6,000, no LE, no STE. You couldn't get an STE wagon, otherwise I really would have been jonesing for one of those because the STE was really cool back in the day if you had to buy American. And we did look at it. And we looked at one that had the brown suede seats. It was a cool car, um, in its way.
In 1985.
In 1985. But so it was a base car. We had the 2.8 liter carbureted motor, which I think I can actually look, but that had the lower output than the fuel injected motor that you got in the STE and was optional. But it had steely wheels.
I remember that with
It
those little
had
mini
it had
caps in the middle.
yep had a but it had bucket seats and a console.
Yep.
Um,
Did
Power
not have gauges,
windows.
as I recall. It had the just a speedo and gas
Right,
gauge.
didn't have the gauge package, but it did have well, again, the bucket seats, and it had there was something else. Well, it had AC and um, and power windows and power locks. And again, my parents, when we lived overseas, were coming out of a 123 280 TE wagon into
Yeah.
this Pontiac, and so I think there was a little bit of an attempt here to sort of mirror it, at least equipment wise, with this Mercedes. Um, to varying degrees of success. It didn't have the rear window wiper. It didn't have the deflector that they used to put over the back windows on American station wagons, the wind
Because you
deflector.
didn't have the roof rack.
No, that car had no roof rack and it had no sunroof or anything like that.
You didn't have, there was no third row or no way back seats.
Not in that one. The second
Okay.
one did. And it had the rear window wiper and all that, but that was the SE model in '89. That was the
That was still a cool car. That was still a cool car.
Um, but yeah, so it was the point being it was a total options list, like idiot bastard.
Yeah.
You know, I could probably, if that car came available sometime, I could spot it in a heartbeat because it's probably the only one equipped like that.
Right.
And the color combination was interesting. At the time, I really wanted him to get a dark gray, and he got silver with the burgundy interior.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's like a desirable color combination.
Well, yeah.
Not
I mean,
necessarily on that car, just in general.
my buddy Rob just bought a 633, a Southern car, really nice. Uh, Polaris on cherry red. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, seriously, like nice cars.
Okay, so what am I buying? What
What are
am I
you
buying?
buying? And I'll tell you if you can afford it.
So I already know about the Audis. I can't get a 5,000 turbo and they're automatic only, so I don't want that. I already had a 5,000 anyway. The BMWs I'm not going to be interested in because I don't want a 318 four-door.
Well, how
Can I
much
get
was a
can,
five?
what's that?
How much was a 5 Series? I'm going to tell you.
It's got to be.
Okay, so a 528E started at 24.5. So
Okay, so by the time you get an automatic and
maybe
yeah,
on your next promotion you can afford that car.
yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Uh,
so that
okay. What kind of Peugeot 505 can I get for my 20 grand?
ooh, ooh, I like a Peugeot 505.
Can I get me a turbo with a stick?
There's a guy that brings a Peugeot 505 wagon to our local Cars and Coffee. I love it. It's one
I
of the later ones, the SW8.
yeah.
You know, can seat more people than your average minivan. But
Right.
what letter does Peugeot start with?
Used to be P, but
I'm,
that was
I'm,
the
I'm
80s.
getting there. I was just trying to, fill space. Oh, I found the Pontiac 6000. Just for the record, that motor put out 112 horsepower.
Okay, I was going to say 105 or 110
The
based
fuel
on.
injected one was 125,
Okay.
just for the record. Oh, this is going to be embarrassing. Tell me. Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. Peugeot
PE.
comes before Pontiac.
Yes, PE.
Shush. Plymouth. Plymouth.
TTS podcast number 7, wherein Reed reads a book.
So I can't tell you.
Damn it.
It goes from Oldsmobile Toronado to Plymouth Caravelle.
Lame.
Yeah. So,
Is it like in a, oh wait, is there a foreign car section?
is there a what? Oh
It
no.
does it's strictly alphabetical?
So we'll never know what a Peugeot 505 cost. I mean, we could Google it on internet, but that defeats the purpose of the book.
That's not what we're, yeah, is it?
The
Okay.
book doesn't want you to have that car. So think outside that box. What a
Uh,
Saab? Want a Saab?
I was going to say Saab 9000.
Okay.
I think
Saab.
85 was the first year, but maybe it was 86.
Um, it was probably 86 because the only Saabs in here are 900s. Although
Gonna get a turbo with a stick?
you can get a turbo with a stick. So a stick was standard. Okay.
All right.
So turbo, you want three door or four door?
I got to go four door
Okay.
because I
So
might have to
turbo,
schlep people.
what's that?
I might have to schlep people, and it's probably, I mean, it's kind of the same car.
Oh, that's true. So turbo four door sedan, 18620.
Okay. What do
Um,
I have options?
Destin, what's that?
Like, what kind of options do I like? I probably got to
Um,
put C in it.
well, you have to pay a $289 destination charge
I
uh,
can't just go up to Orange, Connecticut and get it.
because they had to get it to Orange, Connecticut.
That's
That
not
being
entirely how
said,
destination works, but okay.
the only options on this car are a three-speed automatic transmission and metallic or special black paint. If you don't need either one of those things, so the turbo actually adds to the base car, which is pretty well equipped. It adds, so they had cruise control and they had a manual sunroof. The turbo added air conditioning, electric mirrors, power windows, front and rear spoilers on the three door, sorry, uh, uprated suspension and tires, center console, and cassette player with graphic equalizer.
Sweet.
And back in those days, if you had a graphic equalizer, you were the bomb.
You were the total bomb.
Interestingly, heated front seats were standard on the base 900.
Well, because Sweden.
I guess so. And I like that it's a manual sunroof because there's
Yeah.
something to cranking a sunroof.
Yeah, no, I like them. I like a crank sunroof.
So you can have a Saab 900.
Okay. And
Congratulations.
I've got a little bit of, even with the destination and the metallic paint, I'm at like 19 and change
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, no, you are under the number. Now
Okay.
I'm wondering, I don't want a Saab. I want a Volvo, but I don't want just any Volvo. I want the fairly new 7 Series Volvo. I don't want a 240. 240s were old in 1985 and
Yeah, they were.
just went downhill from there. But sadly, the only 7 Series Volvo I can get is a 740 GLE.
That's a slow car.
Well, yeah, so that is 114 horsepower, just
Yeah,
like my Pontiac, which was that 114 or 116? Don't remember what I said.
112.
That's what I
One.
said, 112. Now, with a four speed, that's just a four speed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, it's a four speed with overdrive.
right.
It had the overdrive switch. Yeah, okay. So four speed, 740 GLE is 16.8,
Okay.
and decently equipped. They had the basic stuff. It reads a lot like the Saab. The 740 didn't have the heated seats, and there are no options listed. So if you wanted heated seats, you had to get a 760, which started at 21.4. So that's out. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking now I don't want a Volvo.
I mean, and in 1985, just because of the market and the people who were buying European cars, like there's probably no negotiation. Like you're not going to walk in with a check for 20 grand to get you 760.
No, no. Um, oh, you know what you could buy? How about a Merkur?
Oh, I like a Merkur. I probably have to get an XR4 because the Scorpio is going to be in the 20s, right?
Scorpio wasn't there yet.
86.
So the Merkur XR4 Ti has a base retail price of, oh my God, I sound like Bob Barker,
A little bit.
of 16,361,
Wow.
and that's with a five speed.
Yeah.
And then, oh heck, you could add the convenience group, which had power windows and central locking for
Okay.
470 bucks.
Love
So
it.
keep a mental note. You're creeping up on
Okay, so I'm 16
seven.
inches. I'm like 17.
Okay, heated front seats. You live in Minnesota, you're getting those.
Yep.
183 bucks.
Gotta have it.
Do you want leather interior or do you want to stick with the cloth?
I like cloth and seat heaters. I
Okay, so
really
we'll
like
stick
that.
with that. But I think you're going to want to spend $549 on the sunroof.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're now at
I'm still under
you're
18.
still under 18. I mean, you have the flexibility to get metallic paint for $274.
I would do that. And you definitely don't want the automatic because those made 145 horsepower compared to the 175 with the stick. You do not want the lower output.
That's
You don't want the
interesting.
automatic anyway.
The book doesn't tell that story. It just lists the 175.
My friend Jamie in high school, her dad had a bright red Merkur, and it was really, really cool, except it was an automatic.
Hmm.
It really just wasn't that interesting. It was an interesting car, but it wasn't that interesting to drive. It was kind of slow.
You know what was a pretty cool car at the time and well under the limit is the new for 1985 Nissan Maxima,
Ah, the front drive one.
the front drive one. And you could get the SE with
Yep.
the five-speed manual. It only came with the five-speed manual, according
Yeah.
to this.
Those
And
have got
that
to
was
be
a pretty well-equipped car.
12, 13,
So
14
for
something.
the SE, you're at 13.5.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a veritable bargain, and that came with, power glass
Oh
sunroof,
yeah. Hey,
the spoilers, sport bucket seats, the sport steering wheel. I mean, you
look,
could
that was a cloth interior too, as I recall.
yes, they do have a leather package, but only for the GLs.
Hmm.
And let's see, yeah, sunroof. No, it came with the sunroof. Electronics package applied to everything, and I think that's
Ooh,
the
at the
thing that,
dashboard.
yeah,
Oh, wait. 85. Does that have the little record player that says your door is ajar?
yes, it does.
Yeah, I like
My
the
aunt and uncle had a Maxima wagon,
yeah,
and that was special. But
yeah.
anyway, I mean, 3 liter V6,
106.
152 horsepower.
Okay.
You know, that's a proper car and a fun car. I mean, it's sporty. I mean, it's
Well,
pre
probably
4-door
didn't weigh
sports
very
car.
much, so I mean, that's plenty of engine for that car.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you wanted to sort of roll the dice a little bit, you could get a five-speed turbo 300ZX for 19,699.
Okay, so no options, but I could have one.
That's a turbo, and there are no options listed.
Oh, so it probably has everything you want.
It has everything you want, yeah. And even the destination price of 195 doesn't push you over. I mean, you're pushing the limit, but you're right at 20 grand.
Right.
That,
And we probably should have clarified at the beginning. None of this includes tax and tags, right? Like this is
oh
just
yeah,
a
no, this is the price of the car.
yeah, the price of the car. Hey, speaking of like Japanese of that era, Toyota Cressida,
Oh,
that should be the rear drive
that
one.
that would be the rear drive one. That
And
was
I
a nice
think that should
car.
be the square one.
Yep.
And I think you should stick
Uh,
with that.
okay, so that is the square one,
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yep.
and that was new for 85. That body actually.
Yeah, because I'm picturing the 84 in my head, but that's the one I was hoping was going to be.
So this evaluation starts with we haven't driven this car yet,
I don't care. It's a
so
total,
we can't say how different it is from the old one.
probably not much.
But it was still an inline six,
Yep,
so 156 horsepower, and the base car came with a 5 speed.
love it.
And the retail on that, and they don't list any options, but it says options price is not available at time of publication, so there must have been some. The price on that was 15,690.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yeah.
Front drive new for 85 Maxima SE
Mm.
with a stick, right? V6 and a stick, or rear drive new for 85 Cressida inline six with a stick driving the rear.
I feel like the Maxima is going to have a little bit more of a sporty flavor, but I
Yeah.
think that the Cressida is actually going to be a better car.
Well, that's probably true. Although I think in those days they were both really good cars, or comparably really
I
good cars.
don't.
Like
I'm not talking
after
about like
30 years,
reliability and stuff. I'm talking about like by the seat of the pants. You're going to like that rear drive feeling. You're going to like that
yeah,
inline six.
yeah,
And this comes with, another, 40 years of experience, right?
right,
So
right,
I like an inline six with a 5 speed. I
right.
like rear wheel drive,
Yeah,
all that stuff. I am curious. So by then, it has electronically controlled suspension. So I assume it would have a firm setting.
probably.
Um, auto air conditioning. I mean, the usual stuff. I was kind of curious if it had any other sort of interesting. Doesn't say anything about a sunroof. Not that that's a deal breaker, but I like a sunroof.
I like a sunroof. There was probably an option that may not be in that book yet.
Right, but again, you've got almost $4,000 room to add options.
Yeah,
Velour upholstery. Yeah, and I like Toyota upholstery in those days. I mean, this is more of a luxury car
it is more of a
than the
luxury car.
Maxima.
It's funny. I mean, it really is a proto Lexus, right? I
Oh, it
mean,
is. Yeah.
in the US market, I mean, they had all sorts of different cars in the Japanese market, but I mean, that really was a proto Lexus. But I like an inline six and rear wheel drive.
That's a compelling car. Oh, I was curious if it had anti-lock brakes. Um,
Probably not in 85.
85, let's see if it says in the little sort of overview, because I don't have to have ABS. Heck, my 94 Miata doesn't have ABS.
Right.
Um,
Uh, but
cool.
85 was the first year BMW got ABS in the States. So I'd be a little surprised if Toyota had it.
Yeah, I just thought maybe for a brand new luxury sedan it might, but I'm not seeing any reference to it. So I'm gonna go with no.
I do feel like that was a later ism, like in the mid late 80s
It
or
does
the
say a console mounted switch lets the driver choose normal or a firmer suspension setting.
nice.
So yeah. Oh, and the electronic controls adjust firmness automatically to match vehicle speed and in hard braking and cornering. That's not
Also
cool.
like a proto Q45A suspension.
Yeah, yeah, funky.
Yeah. God bless the Japanese bubble era, man.
Right, right.
80s into the 90s. Jesus.
I'm kind of mad I don't own one of these now. But,
Yeah, right. Where we pause number seven and go looking on Marketplace.
but yeah, when's the last time, if ever, you saw a five-speed Cressida? I think I have, but it's been a
I
long
mean,
time.
probably on one of the auction sites, but like one example.
Right, right. Because that's a car people just drove until they, rusted away.
And they were all automatics, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, totally.
you know, in those days, nobody was buying that as an alternative to a 528E, right? Like nobody was
Sure.
doing
And also well under your limit would be, and this is a car to have bought and just put in a garage for 40 years, is you could get a Supra, five speed, 16.5,
that.
and they do list the options on that. So, the rear wheel drive, the old boxy Supra. So that was the last year of the boxy Supra. Um, Very limited options. Leather and electric sunroof are the only options that actually applied to the Supra. Oh, and digital instrumentation.
Yeah. I don't know how many people care about that car though. I mean, compared to the two generations that came after.
Except you see, like on the Bring a trailers and what have you, when you've got super low mileage examples, even of
Yeah.
cars like that, they bring money.
Hmm.
I mean, like that pristine Nissan 300ZX Turbo would have been the same way. I mean, I've seen a couple of those sell for just sort of mind-blowing money. But, I feel like this, let's see, that was the last year before Acura. So you
Yeah.
don't have the Legend yet and the
I don't have a
Integra.
Legend. I don't have
Um,
oh, I don't in 85.
you know?
Nah, I think that would have been 86. I don't have a Sterling yet, do I?
No, because that
That
was
would have been that
based
would have
on
been Legend,
the
right?
Legend.
Yeah.
I used to commute with somebody in a Sterling. It had a five-speed too. Horrible car. It was an Arizona car and
Right.
everything that implies. And this was in the late '90s, and it was terrible. She ended up replacing that with a 124 E320.
Hmm.
That was a nice car. That was a really nice car.
Um, I
You did,
remember Trainer Porsche Audi, which became Continental Porsche Audi at some point when we had our 5000 in Fairfield, Connecticut, became a Sterling dealer. And I remember, so it must have been 87 because Acura was 86. It must have been
yeah, I
87.
think it was '87.
I remember going into that deal with my dad, and they had just gotten Sterling. I'm like, Dad, you need a Sterling. Like it's a Honda underneath, but it's all British and beautiful inside. And I remember my dad looking at me and going, Yeah, only the Brits could fuck up an Acura.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, yeah, all right.
And
Like
everything you read
such an
about them.
off-the-cuff Randyism.
I mean, they were true to being the successor to the Rover 3500.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so I've got a curiosity. So what about, let's see, 85? How about a Grand National?
Were they not still Regal T-types in those days?
Grand National package, T-type, $675.
Oh, nice. Oh, but wait, so in 85, stepping away from the coupe for a minute, could
Yeah.
you still get G-body sedans?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so let's see. I don't know if they still had the Buick. I know the Olds was still a thing. Let's see. What was the G body Buick? Was it still a Regal? I guess it was.
I think it was a Regal, because 86 they went front-wheel drive.
Right. So they only list two doors on the Buick, but I swear. So I know Pontiac had the Bonneville. Let's look at that one.
And I think the olds, maybe, I don't know if the
The Olds,
olds
yeah, no, I'll get there. I'll get there before I get to Pontiac. Alphabetical.
still.
Um, So, Oldsmobile, Cutlass Supreme, four-door sedan, Brougham, Cutlass Supreme Brougham, four-door
Rodeo
sedan,
even Brome.
10602.
Right.
And of course, the The
But
Brougham
the
added,
options list is endless, right? I mean, anything you want.
so they all came with a 3.8 liter V6 and a three-speed automatic to start.
Right,
The
right.
Brougham added a custom sport bench seat,
Or benzene, right, right.
upgraded interior trim, and steel belted radial tires.
Ooh,
So what did you get?
yeah,
Oh, it's
don't
the size. It
really don't
includes
ask.
the size. Because there's steel belted radial tires on the
Right,
base as well.
right.
Um,
Retreads from the truck stop.
um, but you could get reclining. Oh, I think they left something out here because it says adds and then it includes reclining front bucket seats. But I have a feeling that's for the top of the line coupe. So looking at the options list, though, you could get a 5 liter 307 CID for $390.
Uh,
You could get a 5.7 liter diesel. That was
oof,
a popular engine
don't do
for
that.
$390. You could get a four-speed automatic transmission,
Probably
um,
that.
but air conditioning was $730. Limited slip differential,
Nice.
95 bucks. Console, $105.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to
Okay,
pause you. I love that in theory, you could order whatever you want, right?
anything within
Right, right.
within a
So
three-page list.
I mean, yeah, three-page list. So hypothetically, I want the four-door sedan.
Yep,
I want the 307.
yep,
I want the console.
yep,
Probably want the four-speed. I definitely want the limited slip.
yep.
There's got to be like a rally suspension
Well,
package.
let's get there. So I think with your driving style, you're going to want the high capacity cooling system.
Probably. Right.
That's $40.
Oof. I don't know.
Um,
That potatoes push me over the edge.
let's see, gauge package. Yep, $142.
Okay.
Let's see, we'll throw in power door locks.
Yeah, no, four-door, yeah.
You want the vinyl roof? I'm going no.
I like a metal top. I
Yeah,
do like,
yeah, yep. Contour bucket seats to go with your console.
yeah.
$57.
Yeah.
Um, make them power, or at least the driver's seat can be power for $215. Wow.
That seems like a lot.
Um, oh yeah, okay, here it is. Firm ride and handling package,
Probably doesn't mean
$44.
what you, $40. Probably didn't mean
$40.
what you think it means, but still, $40 I'm in.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, custom sport steering wheel, you got to have that. $50. Tilt wheel, $110. I kind of want a tilt wheel now. I like a tilt wheel.
Honestly, there's a nostalgia factor for a GM tilt wheel,
Oh yeah.
right? Like, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, so if you're starting off, where were we? 12 something? Oh,
no,
sorry,
like
no,
10.
10
Yeah,
something. I
yeah,
mean, this thing fully loaded out the door is still less than $14,000, which is still less than well less than the average price of a new car today,
yeah, yeah. Uh,
when adjusted for
um,
inflation.
right.
Excuse me.
Um,
But or well,
but okay, so here's a question. I know I can't get all the performance stuff, but if I'm spending the money, like I got a lot of headroom here, right? Why don't I just go Delta 88?
oh, so that's a good question. Delta 88, C Buick LeSabre.
I'm out. I don't want to Saber.
Well, it's just going to list them together because I mean they are the same car, but not.
Right.
So let's see what the options.
What the hell kind of editorial decision is that?
Write a letter to Consumer Guide.
Those guys are still around, actually.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah.
1985 Pontiac Firebird, C Camaro. No, I'm not seeing the Camaro.
No, that has its own section, but okay. So they actually do list the Delta 88 separately. They just wanted to write one review because they decided it was the same car.
I don't care about the review. Tell me about the options.
Okay, so are we starting with the Delta 88 Royale LS four-door sedan?
I don't know what the LS means. Well, I want the sedan.
So you start with either base, Brougham, or LS, which adds $3,000 to the price.
What do I get for my 3 grand?
It doesn't say. I love this book.
So I'm going to go with a maybe.
So for 3 grand, you get something. But so the starting price on that is 14,331, and you have to pay
Sorry, with or without the 3 grand?
no, that's the starting price for the LS with the 3 grand.
Oh, oh,
So
what
yeah,
about?
if you got a Brougham, it's 11,062.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean substantial difference there. But let's see what you could how you could set it up, since we don't know what an LS comes with. Silly book. Okay, same engine choices, interestingly. So the 307, and
Yeah,
you can get the four-speed overdrive, limited slip, $95.
yeah, probably want that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, high capacity batteries, high capacity cooling system, electric digital clock for $60. I'm iffy on that.
I'm iffy on that. That's a lot for a clock.
In 1985,
Electric
that's
digital.
a really expensive clock now. Um,
Seriously.
okay, firm ride suspension still an
Yep,
option. Okay,
yep, want that. Is
uh,
this still $40?
it is. It is $49.
Yeah.
You can get divided front seat, but I think by then they'd gotten rid of the option for a console.
I have never seen one with a console.
I've seen the 70s Buicks, like the LeSabre Coupe, they had a console package,
Hmm.
and I think the Pontiacs did. Um, Leather interior you can get, tilt wheel.
So we had an 83 Delta 88 Royale for a while, and I will forever love that velour interior. I do not need
Yeah, I don't
leather.
want the leather. Yeah.
I don't need leather in my Delta.
Nope, nope, nope.
That is a full nostalgia play.
Illumination package.
Ooh, I like that.
I want to be illuminated.
By my Oldsmobile.
What do you suppose a reminder package is? You pay $66 for it, whatever it is.
I mean, honestly, these days, admittedly, 40 odd years later, I could use a little reminder
Yeah,
package.
yeah. I just don't know what it actually is.
Gotta remember.
So yeah, I'll get the power seats
Yeah, you gotta have that on your
and the
Delta.
divided front seat. I at least want to have my own seat.
Yeah.
But yeah, get that firm suspension and the big engine and go to town, man. I'm still out there on the electric clock though.
I mean, I gotta have some headroom in my $20,000. So, I mean, that metallic paint, I think I'm spending the money.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I
But
mean,
there are a bunch of cars in here, and I don't know who's still listening at this point, but there's actually 85 had some really neat cars. You could get a Mustang SVO for 14.5.
yep,
The Honda Preludes like we had, I think they were $9,900 if I remember right.
yeah, they were. I mean, they were cheap, relatively.
The Ford Thunderbird and Mercury Cougar 85 was when they got the revised dashboard because the original dashboard was so hideous.
You get the turbos on those too, right? I mean, everything was
Yeah,
like that two,
so
three
so
turbo.
the turbo coupe was 13,365, and that came with a five-speed manual.
Okay, so we said no Peugeots. The only Renaults were the little Alliance and Encores
They
by
had
that.
they had the Alliance in here.
Yeah, the Alliance, maybe the Encore came later.
I wonder if the Fuego was.
Yeah, I think you can still get a Fuego and you could still get a GTV6 Alpha.
Well, this doesn't tell you anything about Fuegos, but it tells you everything you ever wanted to know about a Renault Alliance, which I just wrote about recently on Totally That Stupid,
The blog.
the blog. That was a later convertible. That was a GTA. I don't think there's any Alphas in here, but I will look. Audi, and table of contents. No, AMC Eagle.
Oh, you could do an Eagle wagon.
And you could equip those in wacky ways.
You used to
So
be able to get a stick in those. A stick with AC, that'd be all right.
stick with standard. So you
Yeah.
could get an AMC Eagle five-door wagon, and those were all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive.
Yep.
The limited, so it had the 4.2 liter inline six, 5-speed manual transmission, reclining front bucket seats. And then with the limited package, again, 11,893, you got leather seats, a parcel shelf, a luxury steering wheel, upgraded trim, and wire wheel covers.
Ooh,
But what you don't get is air conditioning, bumper guards, uh, convenience group that does not get explained. Oh, it does actually. Headlights on warning, intermittent wipers, and vanity mirror. You can get a sport package. Interesting.
really?
And the sport package is $416 and included a leather wrapped steering wheel, black fender flares, and rocker panels, bumper guards, bumper Nerf strips. What's a Nerf strip?
I don't know, but I'm not seeing the value for my 400 something bucks.
I don't know. Hood molding, blackout exterior trim, left remote sport mirror, and Goodyear Arriva all season tires.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
But you could also get wood grain body side panels added to your sport wagon. You could also get aluminum sport wheels in place of your wire wheel covers.
I like that.
Um, I mean, you could option these in pretty interesting ways. And being an all-wheel or a four-wheel drive vehicle, front skid plate for $83, I want that.
I want that.
Uh, Really, really wild what you could get back in the day. And of course, that one, the next car listed is the newly redesigned Audi 4000,
Uh,
rebodied,
yeah,
which is in your price range, my friend, even as a Quattro. So that's the first of the non-slab side Quattros.
yeah. I like those.
That's a young executive car.
Could be. Yeah.
That would have been a yuppie car, right?
Oh, all of them, right? I mean, anything European was yuppie car.
Yeah, 16,830 for the Quattro,
Okay.
and then
You put a sunroof in that.
yep, $500. Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry, 500 is the base car getting a manual sunroof. If you want an electric sunroof in your Quattro, it's 625.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And I want a stereo for $360.
Yeah, probably.
Although this says it has a stereo, so I don't know.
Well, probably yeah. I mean, it might be the upgraded Audi sound one.
And it also includes an electronic antenna, which it's 1985. I want an electric antenna.
You got to have an electric antenna.
And I might want metallic paint, although I like Quattros in red.
Tornado red, yeah.
Tornado red's a good color. I do like it in the silver and the gray,
I
but
like it.
that's sort of, I mean, looking back, I think I want a color.
My cousin's wife had a 4000 Quattro of that era, maybe a little later, 86, 87, and it was that kind of bronzet color with a brown velour
Oh yeah,
interior.
yeah,
I always liked that car.
yeah. Yeah, the only BMW you're getting is a 318. You could get a four-door, but
Yeah, I don't want that.
I mean that's 101 horsepower BMW. There's a reason that they brought out the 325s.
Yeah,
I remember reading those articles.
yeah, yeah,
What a wacky like nostalgia trip.
yeah. All
I
right, so ultimately for our 20 grand, what are we getting? Go.
I don't know. I'm sort of stuck on the Saab that you started with.
Okay.
I like the Saab.
I like the Saab. I gotta tell you, I like the Cressida.
Ooh, I forgot about the Cressida.
I like the
Ooh,
Cressida.
I don't know. I want the bundle.
But I like the Saab. I do like the Saab.
Those are the two I'm sort of yeah,
Yeah.
and I like the Cressida over the Maxima. I mean the Maxima
I
is pretty
love the
good.
Maxima. I love
I,
it, but I like the Cressida.
yeah, my aunt and uncle's Maxima. I actually drove that when I broke my Prelude and I was staying at their house. And there was a very nice car to drive, and it was quick for the time. I mean, that thing blew the doors off our 6,000 wagon.
Yeah.
Um,
Would have
Probably
smoked our
your Audi too.
5,000. Would
Yeah.
have destroyed our 5,000.
I would be tempted with some of the American stuff. I mean, shit. Even a base Lincoln Town Car was less than 20.
Yeah.
Now, that's a base Lincoln Town Car. It doesn't come with a whole lot besides a 5-liter V8. But like the Oldsmobiles that we were talking about, like
Yeah.
or a Buick Grand National.
Yeah.
Like, okay. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about some of the cars. Like, I mean, you could get a new RX-7 GSL
Yeah.
SE, the hopped up one,
Yeah.
for 15.6.
Hmm.
That's a cool car, and that's a car that's gone up in value,
Yeah.
recently. You had to live through a long time when it didn't, but cool cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I envy our dads having those options
Oh
lists,
yeah.
pages of options list in these books,
Hmm.
to go through. I would like to know. I think the Peugeot is in your range, and the Peugeot, whatever STI or whatever they called their sport model,
Yeah.
would be a neat car.
That'd be a neat car.
And you could get it with the 5 speed, and you could get it with seat heaters. I knew somebody that had one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a cool car. Unfortunately, it might go over just sort of in the realm of the Volvo stuff, but I think not. Because I mean the 240 Volvos, if you got the very top of the line GLT wagon, which had the turbo engine, shit. Okay, I might think about that. A turbo 4-speed wagon, uh,
Yeah.
or GLT, 18,950.
Okay. So, and that's going to come with probably everything. There's probably like I
Leather
don't know if it's going to come
upholstery
with
and
a sunroof, but it's
metallic
going to
trim.
come with, there'll probably be a paint option.
Oh, actually, the paint was covered. It's just
Okay.
leather.
Oh,
So,
I have seat heaters.
yes,
Nice.
for the driver.
That's interesting.
Yeah, adds electrically heated driver's seat. Okay.
Hmm.
I like to think that maybe you got a passenger one too.
Yeah, that feels just like an editorial miss.
Yeah, and it has the sunroof, the power windows, tachometer,
Yeah.
remote right mirror, and the velour upholstery in that at that time was kind of funky, as I recall,
Yeah, probably. I
because
mean,
that was the last before they did the big headlight facelift,
oh, so that was still the four
the
bulb.
quad headlight in the
Yeah.
U.S. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, with the turbo. Hmm. So I might prefer the Toyota or Saab. I'm still, since you brought up the Toyota, I am liking that. This is 175 horsepower though, and in a Volvo 240, that's not
That-
bad.
That's not bad. Hmm.
And they've got fancy wheels and suspension and the blackout and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be buying a Volvo.
You know what?
It's an old car, but it's
It's
but
it's
it's
it, it's it's an
a
old
good
car,
car.
but I think between the Swedes, I'm still doing Saab because a four-door turbo
Yeah,
is a neat car. Like the two-door turbos, I mean, they're not everywhere, but they're not that uncommon. But a four-door turbo with the seat heaters and the stick and the spoilers, that's a cool car.
it is.
That's a cool
Right.
car.
You buy the Saab, I'll buy the Volvo, and we'll buy our wives the Toyotas
Right. Right.
or something. What a wacky trip. Oh my God.
That's hilarious. I'm
You know
glad
what
you're
we
fine.
need to do in the future is we need to pull out, back on the shelf back here, I've got all these old road and track magazines that have the old classifieds in them for these
Oof.
used cars. Maybe we pick out either 60s or 70s, maybe 70s, um, road and tracks, and talk through what we could actually buy for, comparatively little money,
Right.
by modern standards, not just
Yeah.
because, $6,500 was worth, 10 billion now. I mean, I don't want that car. I want the car that would be cheap by today's standards, relatively speaking.
Right. You adjust it for inflation as we've done and
Right.
see what the dollar
And
amount
it's
looks like.
still a good deal,
Right. Like
knowing
the,
what we
the,
know
the
today.
number is, you know, 75 grand in today's money.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
and we back it out
yeah. And I have a feeling that we're going to be sad we didn't invest in 75 grand in cars in 1976.
when we were 3 and 5.
Just saying.
Yeah, okay.
What were our dads thinking? Damn it.
I know, I know.
Come on, Dad, why didn't you buy a 64 Ferrari GTO in 1976?
Yeah. Well, because they were expensive. Those were expensive cars.
I,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
that's all I got, my friend.
That's all I got. Invariably, I'll talk at you later.
Sounds good.